Me, 26 male, with my wife, 25 female. Altogether, 5 years. I saw what looks to be a picture of my wife on my friend's phone. The picture was nude. That's like the weirdest title ever, the way that he wrote that. How about I saw a picture of my wife on my friend's phone that is nude, or a nude picture of my wife on my friend's phone. Okay, so it says, we were sitting on the couch drinking a few beers, watching DVR reruns of The Twilight Zone. It's my day off, and my friend got kicked out of his house about a month ago by his girlfriend. As far as I know, he did nothing wrong. He's been sleeping in a hotel, and my wife and I offered to let him stay at our apartment for a few weeks until he can find a place of his own. Anyway, we're sitting on the couch, and he runs out of beer and gets up to go to my kitchen and get another. He puts his phone face down on the couch. I shouldn't have, but I picked it up to look at it. He was looking at a picture of my wife, naked. I'm almost certain that it's her. I got really uncomfortable at the thought that he's browsing his phone looking at a picture of my naked wife right effing next to me. I quickly put down the phone where he had it, and I locked the screen to be safe. When he came back, I went to my bedroom to type this. Guys, what do I do? Tons of thoughts are swimming through my head. Please help. I don't want to do anything I regret. Literally go out there and be like, hey, I just picked up your phone to move it off the couch, and I saw that there was a, like, it's kind of crazy to put that and then just leave, like, to put his phone down, open screen and everything. Is that really the case? Is that really the case? What happened? I don't know why, but like, that sounds so crazy to me. It almost sounds like maybe OP's not telling the whole truth, and he actually did like open it up and go through it, because for him to open a picture of his wife, look at like a naked picture of his wife, set the phone down and leave the room, it almost sounds like that's a little bit crazy to me. Like how that could, I don't know. That does not sound like something a smart person would do. Or maybe it's not a picture of his wife, but I don't know. If you know that it is, then go and say something to him. Be like, yeah, I picked up your phone. Okay, whatever. I picked it up and I saw my wife naked on your phone. What are you doing with that photo? Like, what's going on? I think it's as simple as that. But, okay. Edit. I have been advised to keep quiet until I know that without a doubt he has a nude picture of my wife on his phone. I need to see it again to be certain. I don't know how to do it though. Oh my God. I don't know either. You're going to have to actually go through his phone. Stuff to know. I told my wife that my friend, our mutual friend, has been staying in a hotel for a few weeks after he got kicked out. We both decided to let him stay here for a few weeks until he gets a new place. I didn't get a long enough look at the picture to say whether or not it's my wife with 100% certainty. There was no face in the picture. I do not want to go around throwing out accusations. Update, my wife will be home from work in an hour and 45 minutes. My friend is currently working on something in the room that he's staying in. Not sure what. I'm in my room, reading the comments. I'm going to text my wife something mundane and see if she responds. I'm not going to bring anything up. I just want to see if she'll say something back. I'm thinking of a few excuses to see my friend's phone. If you have a good one, let me know. Update 2. I was given the idea to tell him I can't find my phone and ask him to call it. He was reluctant about letting me use his phone. This is where I'm worried. If he has nothing to hide, why won't he let me see the phone? I don't know, maybe he's just really protective. He said, just walk around the apartment and I'll keep calling it until you find it. I didn't want him to think that I was suspicious, so I just agreed. I told him I found it and ended it there. He's going to work soon, so I need to get his phone soon. I mean, I think that's normal. Usually I'm like, call my phone, please. I'm not like, I guess it's normal to also be like, can I use your phone to call my phone? But I also feel like it's more so like, hey, can you just call my phone until I find it? And then I'll walk around. And I don't think that's that crazy, honestly. I think that maybe I think that it could be your wife and it could be a fucked situation. But I think at the same time, it could be that like, you're just thinking so much into every single little situation that's going on now with your friend because you think that he might have a nude photo of your wife. So I don't know which it is and I don't know how you're going to find out, but I feel like the only solution here to find out what you want to know is just asking him about it. Like, I saw a photo of this nude person on your phone and I felt like it was my wife. Can you tell me it was or wasn't? I don't think that there's anything else you could do other than like sneakily sneaking in his room while he's sleeping and going through his phone, which would be a little bit crazy. Update 3. Friend has gone to work. Wife will be home in 15 to 20 minutes. Still haven't been able to see the picture. Should I ask my wife anything when she gets home? She didn't respond to my mundane text. I forgot to mention that. Update 4. For those that are wondering, from what I remember, the picture was a woman presumably laying down with her shirt open. She had large breasts, which my wife also does. That's all I remember because after I picked it up, I got a sick feeling in my stomach and locked it and then put it down. If I could see it again, I could pinpoint for sure if it's her or not. Now on to the update. She left her phone at work. I'm worried. This has gotten my head and I'm spinning in all sorts of ways. I prodded just a little bit and asked why she left it. She said she just forgot. Guys, holy shit, I'm nervous. My friend is at work. I can't check his phone. My wife's phone is at work. Fuck, I don't know what to do. I'm going to stay as calm as possible and not give away anything. Is this a sign that she's hiding something? I really don't want to assume the worst. I just need to calm down for a bit. Damn it, am I craving something Vicodin again? I used to be addicted to it and the urge is back, but I know I can't do it. Just to be safe, I called her phone and it did ring the full 30 seconds or so. I'm trying to slyly deduce what's going on. I'll update when I have more. What year was this in? Like, what? Your wife left her phone at work? It's crazy. I don't know. I feel like if I left my phone at work, I'm going back and getting my phone. I'm not leaving it at work for good. That definitely is a little bit sketchy. Unless it's like a flip phone, like a Samsung flip phone, or it's like back in the day, because I know that was more like common back in the day when we weren't so attached to our phones. But like nowadays, if that happened, we're so attached to our phones that it would be so sketchy if you left your phone at work and you didn't just like go back and get it when you realized that you left it, because you would realize pretty quickly, I feel like, for the most part. Okay, there's literally so many small little updates. So we're going to read update 5, 6, 7. My wife is going to the gym. She'll be back in an hour. I feel so bad. I feel like I'm going behind her back. I love this woman to death, and I don't know what I'd do without her. I keep being told to confront my wife or to confront my friend. Which should I do? I'm not going to accuse them at all. That would be wrong. So I might just let this play out a little bit. Final update for tonight. So far, my post has been removed several times, and I promised I would tell you guys what was going on. My wife hasn't come home from the gym, and still no phone. I'm angry and very stressed. I'm going to bed, guys. I hope I haven't failed you people. Please don't hate me. Sir, you shouldn't be revolving your life around if Reddit people hate you or not for giving, like, updates on time. That's kind of crazy. But also, I feel like I don't really see like a easy way to ask your wife about that. I feel like that would be so out of the blue versus just going to your friend and being like, you saw that picture and you want like an explanation, but not like an accusatory way, just being like, hey, I was wondering who was that nude from? I saw it on your phone. I don't know. I feel like he's thinking too much into it, and like it's not that crazy if he were to ask who that was. Okay, update 7. So last night, I had a pretty mean headache. I get them when I'm really stressed, and I decided to call in a night. My wife got home soon after and walked into our room. When she turned the light on, she saw me laying down. She apologized and turned the light back off. She asked me why I was laying down. I just told her I was stressed, and she sat down on the bed next to me and asked me what was up. I just said, work, and left it there. She said okay and then kissed me on the forehead and asked me if I needed anything. I told her I was all right, and I fell asleep not too long after our conversation. I woke up in the middle of the night. I was having trouble sleeping, and I walked into the living room. On the balcony was my friend having a smoke, and I started feeling really angry and wanted to go out there and confront him, but I knew I needed to stay calm. I walked down onto the balcony, and we made small talk for a little bit while he finished his cigarette. It was silent for a bit, and I asked him why he was kicked out of his girlfriend's house. Quote, like I told you before, dude, I'm really not sure. She just did. I didn't do anything. Unquote. It felt like such a lie. I just really wasn't thinking about it the first time. I'm sure he's hiding something. He said it with such a disregard for the question, kind of like when your parents would catch you doing something and they would ask you what was going on and you would just say, nothing. We said our goodbyes exactly like that. I didn't question him any further for fear that he might think I was trying to get something out of him. We talked for a bit longer about nothing important. I told him I was still pretty tired, so I wanted to go back to sleep. He said goodnight, and I went back to bed. I couldn't sleep, though. I was tossing and turning, troubled by the thought of something being up. I got up a while later to go to the gym. From there, I go to work, and I had an idea. I was going to sneak into his room and get his phone and look at it. The only problem being is that his door was locked. I went to the gym but didn't do much because I felt so discouraged. I got to work where I currently am now and decided that I would use the advice I was given and check the message history through our service provider. That was tough to do because I had trouble remembering our account info, but I got it all sorted. When I looked at the message logs, I felt like, again, I was betraying my wife. So I texted her. No answer. She must have not gotten her phone yet. I waited a while until I felt my phone vibrate. Her. Sorry, babe, I just got my phone back. What's up? Me. Just wanted to see how you were doing. Sorry we didn't talk last night. I was really stressed. Her. It's okay. Kissing emoji. Me. I got a question, though. Do you know why enter name here was kicked out of enter name here's house? Question mark. No response, and that was a few hours ago. So I'm still waiting, hoping that she'll answer because I'm having a bit of an anxiety attack. I gave in and checked the phone logs. There were a bunch of messages back and forth between her, myself, her and her mother, her and a few friends, and lastly, her and the guy who was staying with us. Nothing incriminating. I need to fix this because I messed up what I was saying. I assumed this was the message because it was sent to me at the same time as my friend. Only her asking him if he wanted her to pick up something for dinner, which she also sent me. Sorry for anyone who read it the first time and was confused. Thank you for the Redditors who pointed it out. So honestly, guys, nothing major yet. I'll update if she texts back and I have more to tell. I have a few more ideas of stuff I can do, but like I said, I'm not going to accuse anyone until I have absolute proof. I still do not think my wife is cheating. I just want to know what's going on. I get off of work in about an hour. Okay, sorry, that was so confusing because he added in all of this stuff. I need to fix this, blah, 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 blah. But I think it makes sense now. I don't know. I knew that you could check on your phone service provider the phone numbers that people were texting, but I didn't realize you could actually look at what the messages were saying. I did not know that that was a thing because sometimes when I look at my phone bill, you can go into the bill and then it will show you just a list of all the messages, not messages, but all the phone numbers, and I don't even know how to explain it, but if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. I think this is a whole lot of mumbo jumbo going on right now, and he's making himself so stressed when in reality he could just confront him about it. He could just confront his friend about it. I mean, he's staying with you, you're doing him a favor. I think you have every right to ask him what's going on if you really feel like that's what's going on. And if not, then maybe things will be ruined a little bit and maybe he'll be upset with you because you assumed that. But it's not even you have to be is that my wife on that picture? You could just be simple and just ask who was that? Okay, this is the final update. If we don't get answers in this, I'm going to literally report OP because I'm going to be so annoyed. No, I won't, but for real. Final update. Let me start off by apologizing for taking so long to finally write this post. When shit hits the fan, it gets everywhere and takes a while to clean up, so thank you for all the patience. Alright. After my last update, I headed home. I was finally going to man up and ask my friend about what I saw on his phone. When I walked in the front door, I put my stuff down and headed towards his room. I walked past the bathroom and heard the shower, so I figured that he was in it, so I'd wait for him. I went into his room, and right effing there on the bed next to his bag and jacket is his effing phone. My stomach dropped again because I knew there was no going back. I was going to pick up his phone and figure out what is going on once and for all. His phone had a passcode on it, but that was really easy to guess. I tried the 1, 2, 3, 4 and then the reverse, and after about 4 or so guesses, it turned out to be the year he was born. Anyway, I went to his photo reel and opened it. I scrolled through a few pictures of different things, and then I finally landed on it. Fuck. I recognized the shirt and the room it was taken in. She took it. That is a picture she took here in our apartment of her upper body. That was my wife, and my friend had the picture of her on his phone. I got really angry. I couldn't hold it back, and I walked over to the door of the bathroom and started banging on it like a madman. I'm yelling his name, telling him to get out here. The water goes off, and he's yelling out to me, asking what I want, and I kept saying over and over to open the damn door. He finally does, and he's putting on his pants. Quote, "What the fuck do you want, man? I'm getting ready for work," unquote. And that's when I dropped the question. Why the hell do you have a naked picture of my effing wife on your phone? His eyes were huge, and he just started stammering. So I asked him again, but with more force. Why the F do you have a naked picture of my wife on your phone? He was trying to speak, but kept stuttering and put up his hands to try and calm me down. I wasn't going to hit him, but man, I really wanted to. He just kept saying, "Wait," over and over. He gained his composure, and I swear to God, he says, "I know you're mad." I cut him off yelling, "No shit," at the top of my lungs. "Did my wife send you this?" I asked over and over. I was just so incredibly angry. And he finally tells me no and explains what happened. This scumbag POS stole the effing picture from my phone. I don't even know how, but apparently iCloud does BS like this where it stores your photos even after being deleted. Which reminds me, how do I disable that and get rid of the pictures? Anyway, he went to my phone and sent it to himself and then deleted the message. I can't believe I effing missed it. When I read the phone thing, I didn't even think my texts would be relevant, so I ignored them. I asked him if he had any more, and he swore to God he didn't. He only had the one, and wasn't going to do anything with it. Well, not anymore, I deleted it. He started apologizing over and over, and well, I didn't give an F. I told him to leave, to get all of his stuff and leave, and that I didn't want to see him again. If he came back, he would regret it. Different stuff like that. I texted my wife that I needed to talk to her ASAP, but she didn't respond again. Which is because her phone was dead, not because she was hiding something. My wife got home like 45 minutes or so after the son of a bitch left, and when she got in, I calmly asked if I could talk to her. She said yes, and then asked if she could plug in her phone really quick since it died at work. She didn't take long, and it gave me enough time to think of what I wanted to say clearly. She came in, sat down, and I started talking. Actually, you know what the F it is? His name is Hayden. F that dude. I don't care enough to keep his name safe. I said, Hayden had nude pictures of you on his phone. I wasn't going to accuse, I just wanted to tell her and see how she would react. She had a very confused look on her face, but the one where you say, "What?" really sternly. I explained to her all that went down with Hayden and I. She was so angry almost as much as I was. She looked like she wanted to cry, and that made me want to cry. She kept asking where he was and what happened. I told her I deleted the picture off his phone when I had it and kicked him out. She was asking if he had any others. I told her what he told me. She doesn't believe that to be the truth, though. Also, if there were legal repercussions for what he did, and I told her we would check it out. Secondly, I wanted to be open and honest with her. I didn't want to hide anything. I explained what happened over the past day and a half about the first time seeing it and being worried because I recognized it, but I wasn't 100% sure it was her. And how I started getting really anxious, worried that something went wrong in our marriage and that I drove her away, and all these fears. She sat close to me and we held each other. I was in tears over this emotional roller coaster. I was so stressed, worried, sad, and angry at the same time that it all started coming out. She held me really tight and told me I was a good husband and reassured me that I was good after a bunch of bad shit that went down in our past. She could tell I was so worried and hurt, and she just was there for me. We both just needed to cry, I guess. It's cathartic, and it really helped. I don't know what I would do without that woman. I love her to death. I was really tired, and after our breakdowns, we didn't feel much like doing anything, so we laid down most of the day talking about what we were going to do to fix our situation. I went over to Hayden's ex-house and asked her why she kicked him out and explained the situation with him having a picture of my wife on his phone. Turns out the mother effer cheated on her. I was disgusted. I never expected him to do that, but after what went on, it didn't hit me as hard as I thought it would. She was pretty disgusted with Hayden's behavior and told me a lot of stuff I never even knew about him. It was really uncomfortable to hear, but she needed to vent. I went to a law office close to us and asked around about legal repercussions of stealing someone's photos. They gave me a number of different options that I'm going to bring up to my wife. The biggest one that I see working is a lawsuit. When I got home, my wife showed me a bunch of texts that she received from Hayden. He sent me a few that I ignored. He was more than likely drunk because the texts were so hard to understand. He kept apologizing and would send one every 10 minutes, and it was getting annoying. So she turned off her phone. The rest of the day was quiet until he came to our door and started begging us to forgive him. I felt really bad. This dude was sorry, drunk, probably didn't go to work, and tired. I told him he needed to leave us alone and we would get in touch with him later. He was okay with that. I'm not sure where he went, but I'm assuming it was a hotel or possibly another friend's house. Before you ask, he didn't drive to our apartment. He took an Uber. He started pestering us more and more, and this time, it was getting a bit violent, with threats and different things. This guy was acting like such an effing scumbag. I tried to be nice, and now he's trying to play innocent while threatening us with some of his, I didn't do anything wrong, don't tell anyone or I'll F you up. F Hayden. Seriously, he was really pissing me off. Wouldn't stop calling us. My wife was worried that he would come over and try and make good on his threats, so I stayed with her the entire day, mildly worried myself. We both decided that we're going to press charges now because of how immature he's being and even threatening us. I thought we could handle this like adults, and now he's bringing it on himself. I want this to all be over. I'm tired and I want things done, but it'll come in time. Thank you guys for being there for me on this crazy journey. It really means a lot that strangers on the internet want to help with my problems. I need a place to vent and validate my suspicions and just feel like people had my back. Thank you so much to people. It meant a lot. Aside for the occasional death threats and just weird stuff, I appreciate the messages that you would send me so I felt like I wasn't alone. Thank you so much, you people. Thank you so much, you people. Okay, well, also he said also one final thing. F Hayden. Okay. You are, honestly, the way he was writing this is honestly so funny. He's like, you know what? Like, it was so giving. He's just like typing as he's thinking stuff in his head and not even thinking a second about it. He's like, you know what? Just kidding. I hate him. I'm not even going to hide his name anymore. F you, Hayden. I hate you. It's like, okay, that's, how old is he again? Sorry. Okay, 26. Gotcha. That's crazy of him. I would be pissed off and I would definitely be pressing charges. Even before, like, I don't care if you show up to my house and you're drunk and you're like, I'm not feeling bad for you, you weirdo. You stole a picture of my wife naked and was looking at it on your phone, probably jerking off to it. And that's disgusting. And I would not ever feel bad after that. Like, because if you can do that to me, who's helping you and like helping you stay at my house because you got kicked out, and you're also lying to me about why you got kicked out and like just so much more stuff, I'm not feeling bad for you after that, because what else are you doing to like people around you that you supposedly care about? Because you're clearly not a good partner, you're not a good friend, you're stealing nude photos of my wife, which is the craziest part. And it's just so weird to do that. Like, why can't you just look up something on the internet? Because I kind of answer my own question with that. Like, he obviously has fantasies of this girl in real life and like wants photos of her, which is so fucking weird. Like, okay, you're actually so weird for that. The top comment says, reading this in real time must have been insane because the updates just kept getting worse. Dude was spiraling so hard trying not to cause his wife. Meanwhile, Hayden was actually being a complete weirdo the entire time. The I didn't do anything wrong guys always end up doing the most insane stuff. Yeah, because you have to know that, like, for the most part, people aren't just kicking out their partners for no reason. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I just, like, she just kicked me out. There has to be a reason. And the fact that you're, like, he didn't even try to fake a reason or, like, explain something that wasn't the actual situation is so weird. And I don't know. It's just like, okay, well, obviously she didn't kick you out for just for funsies one day and being like, hey, this is really fun. Let me spice up my life a little bit and kick out my boyfriend today. There was obviously a reason for that. This person said there was this other best of Redditor updates once that introduced a jerk and then went something like, quote, let's call him Carl because that's his name and he doesn't deserve privacy. F you, Carl. Okay, Carl. I'm actually dying today because some of the comments on my story on, not my story, my episode that I posted today are like so funny. This girl literally said she lost respect for me because it's so funny because when you post your opinions and stuff, people act like they like, oh, I usually agree with you on every take that you have, but this one, like, this really made me lose respect for you. It's like, you don't need to agree with me on every fucking take. My friends don't agree with me on every take I have. I don't agree with my friends on every take they have. It's crazy to think, like, to judge whether you want to watch something, like, and I'm saying, like, with little takes. Obviously, like, when I watch, like, red pill content, I'm not, like, thinking, oh, I what am I saying? I don't know how I'm supposed to be explaining this, but you know what I mean. Like, obviously, if I was saying like some crazy racist stuff, then yeah, obviously, like, that's not okay. But it's literally me just saying the tiniest little, like, opinion that I have, and this person's like, I lost all respect for you because you didn't agree on one of my, like, small opinions that I have because I have a different worldview than you about one tiny little thing. And it's not like it was an offensive thing, like I was being homophobic. Like, it's crazy. Like, dude, it's fine if you don't agree with someone that you watches every single take. I wouldn't expect you to. That would be so weird unless we were literally identical twins. And even then, I'm sure identical twins have different opinions on certain subjects as well. It's just so crazy to, like, judge that as your, like, barometer of, or whatever the fuck that word is, barometer of whether or not you have respect for someone. I have no respect for you because you think that it's fine for some. It was the take about me. I don't even know what my take was. What was it? It was like, so, it was just not that big of a deal to me. Like, it was the story of the girl wanting to give her kids her ex's, how do I explain? Como se dice? So she's with a new guy, having a baby with a new guy, and she has 2 babies or something, a couple kids with her ex-husband, and she has her ex-husband's name still, and she wants to give her new baby with her new guy her last name that is also her ex-husband's last name. Okay? So my take was, like, at first I was like, okay, yeah, like, I was agreeing with OP because he was, like, upset, saying that he didn't want her to name her kid after, or name their kid with the ex's last name and stuff. And I was, like, understanding. And then I kind of slowly started to switch over to the woman and being like, actually, you know what? Like, it's also her last name, so I can kind of understand why she would want her kid to have her last name as well, even though, yeah, it is the ex-husband's name, but it's also her last name, so, like, let's not forget that. And then as the story went on, it started to get racist, which obviously I don't agree with. If you know me, you know that I don't fucking agree with that. It's not rocket science for me. And so then obviously towards the end of the story in the last update, I was not on her side anymore. And I was like, okay, now I'm annoyed that I even agreed with her because she turned it around to all this racist BS. And then, yeah, I don't know why I just had to explain that. I don't know why I just explained that whole take over again, but I just wanted you guys to know the context because a lot of people disagreed with me in the comments, and guess what? I don't give an actual damn. Disagree with me all you want. I'm not gonna hate you unless it's like you disagreeing with the fact that, like, me, I don't know. You know. If it's you disagreeing and you're being hateful about my take or about, like, a group of people or something, and you're being homophobic or you're being racist or you're being just, like, a shitty person, yeah, okay, I'm obviously gonna, like, block you if you're disagreeing in that way. But if you're just disagreeing about something simple, then it's it's fine. I don't care if you disagree with me or if you agree with me. Great, that's fine either way. Not, like, it doesn't matter to me either way. And I would think that like a normal person would also feel the same way. Because if I'm listening to a creator and I'm disagreeing with them, I'm not thinking like, oh my God, they're like, you're so stupid for not agreeing with me. I'm just thinking like, okay, makes sense. Not everyone in the world has the same opinion. It's not that crazy. Like, I've met a lot of people that have different opinions than me, and I've disagreed with a lot of people in my life. And to think that you are never going to disagree with anyone in your whole entire life, and you're just immediately going to lose respect for a singular person that girl, you're actually so stupid. Like, you're so annoying. People like that make me want to, I don't know, not do anything because I don't really care that much. It's just so funny to me that like you're so upset about something minuscule like that. And it's just like, I lost all respect for you. It's like if I was like, I don't know, whatever. It's just funny. Sometimes it's funny. And if you're expecting to agree with every take that I have, you're going to be very much disappointed because I'm sure we are different people. We were raised differently, as was everyone. So we're probably not going to agree on everything, and that's okay. That's literally how that's how the world goes around. You can watch full episodes at youtube.com/jamie.nelson98 on my main channel. Thanks for watching.